How do I remove this from? Oh, it's in control center. What is that? Oh, that's this, which is also just here. But it's still here. Oh, okay. Interesting. Screen mirroring? Oh wait, let's try the, what is it? This one, LG, bet, boom. Started. Oh, that's nice. Oh, that's nice. That is nice. Yeah, what? Always show? There's no need for that if I have this. I don't even use that one anyway. Weather in the menu bar? Yo, I didn't know about that. Yo! I didn't know you can do that. Oh, that's nice. How do I want that? I feel like it would be nice next to the Thursday. But I like the battery next to this. Like that probably works. here. Okay. Wait, what? How did it just open? What is energy mode? Yo, I did not know about that. Zoom. It's set to fill. How do I undo it? I don't know how I undo that. So maybe not that. Minimize, do nothing, zoom. I like that because you can double click it back to, or minimize windows into the application icon, yes. Click little space right there. What about here? No? Okay. So drag windows to screen edges to tile. No, because I'm using something else. Drag windows to menu bar to full screen. No. Hold Option key while dragging windows to tile. No, tiled windows have margins. Just gonna turn all that off. gonna open it up in code. Okay, I don't think I need that right now. Okay, I do need to do I gotta figure out how to configure this because I tried it last night and it was causing problems, but that's probably because I just didn't configure it right. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Start at login. I'll keep it at false for now until I can get it working. How many do I want? Guess that's fine. Wait a minute. Oh, okay, it is this control. See, like these don't work for some reason. Alt tab, workspace back and forth. Alt shift tab, move workspace to monitor. Dash dash wrap around next. Is there not like move window to workspace right? To next workspace? That's what I want. This just says move left, move down. Move node to workspace. So you can do each one like that, but I don't like that. I just want to use the Vim bindings. Layout sticky tiling? What is sticky tiling? Sticky floating windows. Can I search move node workspace left? I'm just gonna click search, see if something comes up. This. What is this? Move window to monitor in. Yeah, this is what I want. Is this implemented? I don't know how to understand this. Docs. Let me just keep reading this first before I do stuff. Okay, so I looked at the whole thing. All of this, the default config that's behind commands, is the thing you want to use, is the thing that you use to manipulate AeroSpace and query its state. There are two ways on how you can use commands. Bind keys to run AeroSpace commands, or run them in the terminal. Okay. For a list of available commands, see commands. Okay, I'm gonna click that. Balance sizes of all windows in the current workspace. I don't know what that does. Balance sizes. So it just balances everything. Close all windows but current. Enable. I'm gonna have to try to like understand this tree node setup, but I think I might understand it kind of. There's gonna be, let's see, a work. Does it say how it works? I don't know if it does. Focus. Oh wait, yeah, focus. Set focus to the nearest window in the given direction. Contrary to i3, focus command doesn't have a separate argument to focus floating windows. From focus command perspective, floating windows are part of the tree. Floating window parent container is determined as the smallest tiling container that contains the center of the floating window. The technique eliminates the need for additional binding for floating windows. Okay, this is what I like. This is one of the features I like, to focus floating windows. Because Amethyst ignores it. I like Amethyst because it works. And that's a big reason. That's a big reason why I like it, is because it works. But the other reason is I like throwing stuff to different monitors. Like I can just go to each monitor. With focus and by moving the windows there. And with this one, as when I was trying to use it yesterday, it was not doing that. But that's because it works differently. So I just have to figure out how it worked. I shouldn't say it wasn't doing that. I didn't know how to do that because I didn't look into how to do that. I kind of just clicked some buttons and I was like, it wasn't those. So I guess I have to read how it works. I have not tried Stage Manager. I saw a video by some programmer saying Stage Manager is awesome or something, but I was like, that's crazy. How do you even start Stage Manager? Bro, how do you even start it? Bro, I don't even know how to use Stage Manager. You gotta turn it on in here? I probably turned it off. Stage. Oh yeah, it's off. I tried it once and I was like, this is stupid. No, I had it turned off. Turn on. Look at this, bro. Well, now it's up here, maybe. Oh, here. I see. Control center. Why is my date gone? I had date there. What happened to my date? How do I do that? Control center? Where's time? Clock. Show day of the week. On. Show date. Always. Or when space allows. Yeah, that works. Done. I don't really see why. Maybe some people would use this. I feel like if you're on if you're just on the laptop screen, maybe this could be good. But it's Apple's way, probably like the old way where they tried to, it's their way of window management, but it was just not good. And so no one really adopted it because it just wasn't good. And they've just kept it here for a long time, and I don't know why. Off. Let's see. Oh yeah, okay, so focus. So let me read this. Focus boundaries. I saw a video or something was coming up about Stage Manager, like Stage Manager back. This guy.
Apple Stage Manager has completely changed the way that I use my computer to do work. Now I know that's a huge, bold claim.
This video kept coming up in my like recommended like every day for the past couple days.
To make, and I probably sound like the biggest Apple fanboy, and you're not wrong, I do love Apple products a lot, but I promise what I'm saying is 100% the truth, and let me show you exactly why Stage Manager has really changed the way that I use my laptop. So previously, before Stage Manager, the way that Apple handled multitasking was by creating these separate windows that you navigated through. You would then have to manually arrange which applications go on which window, and you horizontally swipe through them using the 3-finger swipe gesture, which is a good experience. It's what I used for a long time. I had no problems with it. As a software engineer, I typically have a lot of different apps open at one time. I have my text editor of choice, I have my web browser of choice to visualize any of the changes that I'm making, because I do a lot of full stack web development. I then also have Slack open and maybe a couple other documents open here and there. But I mainly cycle through those 3 windows: Slack, text editor, and my web browser. Those are the 3 things that I always have opened up at all times. And my typical day-to-day setup right now is a 34-inch LG ultra-wide monitor with my laptop opened up on the side. So I really have, like, let's say 3 monitors, because we can consider the ultra-wide monitor as 2 monitors, and then we'll have my laptop as its very own monitor. And I think in the corporate workplace, it's kind of a flex about like how many monitors. The more I've been working this, that I appreciate that laser-like focus so much better. Okay, so this is my whole Stage Manager setup and what I love so much about it. For those of you that don't know, Stage Manager is this little toolbar on the side that I believe macOS Ventura starts to support, and it allows us really quick window switching where you can just click a button and you immediately switch to that window. But what's also nice is the fact that these are live previews of what's going on in that window. For example, like let's say I pull up a YouTube video, let's say I watch a lot of tennis or something. Let's say if I really wanted to, I can have this video playing in the background, and I can see the live changes that are going on here in the background. Now you might be asking, why is that important? Now let's get into this. So right here, what I like about Stage Manager, like I mentioned before, is the fact that it really forces me to focus on one window and one window only. Like I mentioned, when I have too many windows open with my ultra-wide here, luckily, for example, I'm running React email right here. You can just manually click on over as well. Panel, if you want a diagram, I have created over here, and I want to visualize like it. It's on some loop.
All right, whatever. Okay, focus left, down, up, right. Focus window, -- window ID, -- DFS index. Where's boundaries? Let's read the tree. I didn't get to this yet, actually. Let's not jump ahead. What else they have? Focus back and forth. The current and previous focused elements. I don't like that one. Focus monitor. Oh, okay, I see. I don't like... why are these not combined commands? That's the dumb thing. I want to be able to just use the same commands for focusing windows, but then to just jump automatically to the next monitor. Like if I'm going right, go from here to then my off-screen monitor, which is here, without clicking a separate command. Now I guess this could be useful if you want to like focus specific monitors, but you can just use the standard focus and then have it just automatically go between monitors. So focus back and forth. AeroSpace stores only one previously focused window in history. That's why it may be preferred to combine focus back and forth with workspace back and forth. AeroSpace focus back and forth. AeroSpace workspace back and forth. Focus monitor. I think once I read all of this and understand everything that's possible, then it'll be really good. Then it'll do what I need to do. I just have to figure it out. Focus monitor by relative direction, by order and or pattern. Actually, this wraparound would be good. That's what Amethyst has, is the wraparound. So I think I have to turn that on in here. I gotta read the syntax of how to make this. Make it possible to wrap around focus. Yeah, that's what I want. Focus monitor in a direction relative to the focused monitor. Focus next / previous monitor in the order they appear in the tray icon. Find the first monitor pattern in the list that doesn't describe the current monitor and focus it. Full screen. Join with. Yeah, I gotta read about the tree structure to see how that works. If I can understand this well and get my key mappings right, I feel like this would be really good. I could be real quick with it. It would be better than Amethyst. But Amethyst is nice because it does like 90% of what I want it to do. And it just works. Whereas this is like, you could probably do the extra 5%, which contains so much more than like the 50% because it's exponential. But you gotta read all this stuff, configure it. It takes a while, I think. Maybe, we'll see. Layout. Change both the tiling layout and the orientation in one go. Horizontal tiles, vertical tiles, accordion, horizontal accordion, vertical accordion. Okay, accordion is just like dumb. I don't know why anyone would do that. So just tiles is basically it. Toggle floating and tiling mode. So this default thing is just missing a ton of commands. Is that basically what it is? Yeah, it just has these, like, just these, but all the other commands are in here basically. Okay, I see. macOS native full screen, native minimize, mode. Activate the specified binding mode. Yeah, because you can have multiple move here, okay. Left, down, up, right. Does this not have a wraparound? Move the focused window in the given direction. Deprecated name, move through. There's no wraparound on this? That's kind of like the whole point. Like if I'm here and I want to move right, then it should go, assuming this is the only monitor, then it should go here. Because it wraps around. So that way, when you have 1, 2, 3, 4, you can just do it once and it'll go here. That's what the wraparound needs to be. Focus has wraparound and it doesn't? What is it? Focus monitor. Why does this have wraparound and the other ones don't? If that's what I'm assuming that's what it is. Make it possible to wrap around focus. Anyway, move. Move mouse to the requested position. Move node to monitor. Maybe I can get used to the separate commands for monitor and move. It to me is kind of a waste. But I can see how if I have 1, 2, 3, and I want to move something here, instead of taking this guy and moving it 1, 2, and then off screen, I can just do it once and it'll go there. Like that could be quicker, but the amount of time that I do something like that is minimal to none, so maybe it's not minimal to none. It's the amount of time that I have a lot of items here and I need to move it that many times where it's actually that inconvenient is minimal. But if there's like 2 or maybe 3, I can do 1, 2, 3. I don't know. Okay, so move window to monitor in the direction relative of the focused monitor. Move window next previous monitor in the order they appear in the tray icon. Monitor pattern. Find the first monitor pattern in the list that doesn't... Okay. Move node to workspace. Okay, that works. This one has wraparound. But I only want... This one has workspaces all the time, just always active. I only want workspaces active when I create them. Because I want to then move, if each window or each monitor is a separate workspace, I don't want this monitor to have 10 workspaces for me to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, go all the way to 11 for it to then move to the next monitor, which is why they created a separate command. But it's like, you can avoid all of that and just have one command. This is like taking something that you can, this is like over-complexifying something that, oh, why am I saying words that are not real? Just over-complicating something that there's no need to do. Or at least have this, but also have an option where you can just like combine all these. Or like a command that just moves it across workspaces. I don't know. Let's keep reading. Maybe they do. They do have move node to workspace, move node to monitor, and just move. So I gotta test these out. Move workspace to monitor. Monitor force assignment. You could use workspace to monitor force assignment syntax to assign workspaces to always appear on particular monitors. Okay. Reload config, resize, split. Split command exists solely for compatibility with i3. Unless you're a hardcore i3 user who knows what they're doing, it's recommended to use join with. I don't think this person is like an English speaker. They don't have like proper English grammar in this. Like the sentences don't make sense. Nikita Bobko. He's like Russian or something. Netherlands. Yeah, that's fine. It's okay. It's okay, we'll allow it. Summon workspace. This behavior is identical to xmonad. So this is what Amethyst is built off of, or not built off of. It's an xmonad-like tiling window manager. Whereas this one is i3-like, which I don't really know the difference, but I know what xmonad is now just because I've been using Amethyst. Trigger binding. Oh, you could manipulate volume? Why? It's like a built-in feature to the OS. Oh, I suppose you can set an exact volume, so that works. But otherwise, this is just built in. Workspace. Focus the specified workspace. Workspace back and forth. Query commands. Where are we at? Oh, query commands. Okay. List monitors. List. Okay. Okay, I get an idea of what there is now. Of what's going on with these commands. So let's keep reading here. Okay, keyboard layouts and key mapping. By default, key bindings in the config are perceived as QWERTY layout. Exec environment variables. Tree. Okay, this is what I gotta understand. AeroSpace stores all windows and containers in a tree. AeroSpace tree tiling model is inspired by i3. I deleted something with Microsoft and now it keeps popping up, this piece of garbage thing. Okay. Oh, here. Okay, this is i3WM. Basically, it just works like this. This is the inspiration. Where were? Oh, that's not the wrong. Okay, wrong page. X. Definition. So, each non-leaf node is called a container. Okay, so each workspace contains its own single root node. Each non-leaf node is called a container. Each container can contain arbitrary number of children nodes. Windows are the only possible leaf nodes. Windows contain 0 children nodes. Every container has 2 properties: layout, tiles or accordion, or orientation, horizontal or vertical. When we say layout of the window, we refer to the layout of the window's parent container. It's easier to understand tree tiling model by looking at examples. So this is this. This makes sense. So the root node is what? The workspace? Or is, what is the, you should just say, yeah. Well, each workspace contains its own single root node. Is it also fair to just say the workspace is the root node? Because to me that would make more sense. That's just that's how I would understand it. That way there isn't like a window being a root. Because in the, what is the other one? Xmonad/Amethyst, I think one of the windows is a root. Like one of them is the root node. I think. So this one has an independent root node. Horizontal tiles, root node. And then the windows are children of it. Okay. And they can thus be horizontal or vertical. This can just change horizontal or vertical, and these will still be the children. Okay. So that's 2 windows side by side. Now to create something like this where it's 1, 2, 3, and then the middle one, or 2, has a split one. So there's a root node, which then has 3 node children. 2 of them are window nodes, and 1 of them is a container node. Okay, I see. So a container is the node. Okay, I see. Each workspace contains its own single root node. Each non-leaf node, I don't know what non-leaf really means, is a container. I don't know what non-leaf is. I thought in a tree it's parent and child. What is leaf? Where do leaves come from? But this starts to make sense here now. So this is a container, which basically contains these children. And so that's what you see here. And so there's this window, this child node, and this child node. And that's why you have a split of 3. But then the middle child node, you can create more nodes off of those because it's not a window node, it's a container node. So the container node can contain more windows. So you can have a window node here, potentially probably another one here where you can split it up into 3s, 4s, etc. and so forth and so on. Okay. That makes sense. You can nest containers as deeply as you want. You can navigate in the tree in 4 possible cardinal directions: left, down, up, right. You use the focus command to do that. The tree structure can be changed with 3 commands. Now, well, okay, let's just keep reading before I get ahead of myself. Move, join with, or split. For its compatibility with i3, please prefer join with over split. Okay, so move and join with. In total, AeroSpace provides 4 possible layouts. Horizontal tiles and vertical tiles, horizontal accordion and vertical accordion. From the previous section, you're already familiar with tiles layout. Accordion is a layout where windows are placed on top of each other. What a dumb layout. Who uses that? The horizontal accordion shows left and right paddings to visually indicate the presence of other windows in the direction. In those directions. Okay, whatever. I'm going to kind of skip that because I'm probably not going to do that here. Just like in tiles, you can focus command to navigate. Yeah, left, right, up, down. Okay, normalization. By default, AeroSpace does 2 types of tree normalizations. Containers that have only 1 child are flattened. The root container is an exception. Yeah, so if there's only 1 child, 1, 2, 3. Wait, never mind. The root container is an exception. It is allowed to have a single window child. Configured by enable normalization flatten containers. Containers that nest into each other must have opposite orientations. Configured by enable normalization for nested containers. So according to the first normalization, such layout isn't possible. H tiles, V tiles, window. You can't have a container be a child node of a container if it's the only node. It will be immediately transformed into this. Yeah, because this would just make no sense. According to the second normalization, such layout isn't possible. Window, tiles, window, window. Because it's horizontal tiles and horizontal tiles, which means that this is completely useless because you could just have these 2 windows go up onto here because it would produce the same effect. It will be immediately transformed into this one, or just switch it. So this is essentially just 1, 2, 3, or you can switch this horizontal to vertical and then it will actually be valid. That makes sense. Normalizations make it easier to understand the tree structure by looking at how windows are placed on the screen. Though you can disable normalizations by placing these lines to your config. Probably don't do that. Probably don't do that. Okay. So floating windows. Normally floating windows are not considered part of the tiling tree, but it's not the case with the focus command. From focus command perspective, floating windows are part of tiling tree. The floating window parent container is determined as the smallest tiling container that contains the center of the floating window. The floating window parent container, okay, is determined as the smallest tiling container that contains the center of the floating window. So if there's a floating window, they should have like a graph of this somehow, or some sort of visual. I mean, for this, not graph, visual. But does that mean that if I have a floating, open up Finder, like this is floating. The parent container is determined as the smallest tiling container that contains the center of the floating window. Okay, so since there would theoretically be only one container here at this case, and the center is like here, so it would just be part of this container, which would make sense. But if there was a container like split in thirds, or I mean, there was one container, the full thing, and then window, and then a middle node being a container, a split like in the previous example, and then a window here. So split in threes, but this middle one is split in half with two windows above each other, thus making it a container. Then this one would fall into that container, being the smallest. What do you mean by smallest? Being the most childest? Or I feel like I will understand it once I use it in practice. This is something I'll understand in practice, maybe. As the smallest tiling container that contains the center of the floating window. This technique eliminates the need for an additional binding for focusing floating windows. Which is cool, because Amethyst does not focus floating windows. Which that's something actually I would like. And that's one thing in my workflow that I don't like about Amethyst, because let's say I'm like this. What I've gotten used to doing is going down and then clicking Finder, and then boom, now it's here, or whatever other app is there. Or what I can do is obviously just focus it with shortcuts. So for Finder I have that, but for other like small apps that open up, disk images, settings, pages or something, if I don't have I might not have a command to open those directly. So I'd have to go down here and then like click whatever, which is annoying. So being able to just move my focus to it, like all the other windows, would be very nice. Okay. Emulation of virtual workspaces. Native macOS spaces have a lot of problems, or so you say. Again, animation for switching spaces is slow. I don't think so. You have a limit of spaces, 16 on one monitor. Okay, I mean, if you're using more than 4, you have like serious issues. You have serious mental issues. Okay, maybe not 4, but like 16. How is that? Who is using 16? Who is reaching this limit? Who? Show me this person. We need to burn them at the stake, because they would, like, at that point they're literally trying to use one application per every space. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. I don't know how this could be a limit. You can't create, delete, or reorder space and move windows between spaces with hotkeys. Okay, hold up. You can only switch between spaces with hotkeys. Okay, yes, you can switch between spaces with hotkeys natively. You can't create or delete or reorder space. So that's actually a good one with hotkeys. You can't do that with hotkeys, which is that's actually a good issue. Like, that's fair. I wish you can do that with hotkeys. I don't know why you can't. And then you can move windows between spaces via their API, which is what Amethyst does, and it works perfectly fine. It broke at one point, but he's patched it and pushed out an update, and now it works. So you could totally do that. Totally do that. So I guess maybe the creating and deleting of spaces. Apple doesn't provide public API to communicate with Spaces. Well then, I mean, Amethyst does it perfectly fine and it works really well. This one not, but this one you can. Move spaces, move windows between spaces, you can totally do that. Since spaces are so hard to deal with, AeroSpace re-implements spaces and calls them workspaces. The idea is that if the workspace isn't active, then all of its windows are placed outside the visible area of the screen in the bottom right or left corner. Okay, I read this last time, which I thought this was kind of retarded, but since it works with my current setup, then actually I don't care if it's retarded because it works. If it was causing a problem for me, then I'd be upset, but it's not. Note on mission control. Wait, should I turn off spaces? Here. When you quit AeroSpace or when AeroSpace detects it's about to crash, AeroSpace will place all windows back to the visible area of the screen. AeroSpace shows the name currently active workspace in its tray icon. The intended workflow of AeroSpace workspaces is to only have one macOS space, or as many monitors you have if displays have separate spaces is enabled, and don't interact with macOS spaces anymore. If this is enabled. Yeah, I like that. I turned that off yesterday to see what that does, and that was no good. Totally makes sense to be a separate space. Each monitor. Note, for better or worse, macOS doesn't allow to place windows outside the visible area entirely. You will be able to see a 1 pixel vertical line of hidden windows in the bottom right or left corner of your screen. That means that if AeroSpace crashes badly, you will still be able to manually unhide the windows by dragging these few pixels to the center of the screen. If you want to minimize the visibility of hidden windows, it's recommended to place a dock in the bottom and additionally turn automatic hiding. I don't know. I don't know if I care too much about that. Let's see. Since AeroSpace needs a free space to hide windows in, please make sure to arrange monitors in a way where every monitor has a free space in the bottom left-hand corner. Okay. Note on mission control. For some reason, mission control doesn't like that AeroSpace puts a lot of windows in the bottom right corner of the screen. Mission control shows windows too small, even there is enough space to show them bigger. There is a workaround. You can enable group windows by application setting. A note on displays have separate spaces. There is an observation that macOS works better and more stable if you disable displays have separate spaces. It's enabled by default. People report all sorts of weird issues related to focus and performance when the setting is enabled. Wrong window may receive focus in multi-monitor setup. Wrong borderless alacrity window may receive single monitor. Performance issues. macOS randomly switches focus back. When it's enabled, moving windows between monitors causes windows to move between different spaces, which is not correctly handled by the public APIs AeroSpace uses. Wait. If it's enabled, moving window between monitors, okay, causes windows to move between different spaces, which is not correctly handled by the public APIs AeroSpace uses. Apparently, these APIs are not aware about spaces' existence. Spaces are just cursed in macOS. The less spaces you have, the better macOS behaves. Okay, so hold on. So let's read this because this is going to be important. Is it possible for window to span across several monitors? I don't think I would ever care for that. No, that's not something I'd ever use. Overall stability and performance. So I guess I have to turn it off to test it out. When the first monitor is in full screen, second monitor operates independently. Second monitor is unusable black screen. No way, really? What if how do I full screen this? Full screen. No? Second monitor is perfectly fine. My monitors are all fine if this is in full screen. That's just not true. It's just not true. Second monitor is unusable black screen. No, they're usable. What are you even talking about? Terminal, usable, perfectly fine. Okay, weird. macOS status bar that is displayed on both monitors. Is displayed on only main monitor. Yeah, that's the weird thing. I like it on all the monitors, but maybe not. Maybe I don't need that. Oh, if it's disabled. Okay, my bad. My bad. Okay, if you disable it, then it's black. Okay, I see. I was looking at that wrong. My bad, my bad, my bad. Honestly, it doesn't even matter because I never use full screen. I never use full screen. Actually, I use it when I'm watching something. Maybe. So that might be an issue. If you don't care about macOS native full screen and multi-monitor setup, which itself is clunky anyway since it creates a separate space instance, recommend disabling displays of separate spaces. Callbacks. You can use on window detected callback to run commands every time a new window is detected. Here's a showcase example that uses all the possible configurations. If app ID is system preferences, settings, substring, workspace name. If during workspace startup true, check for the callbacks true, run, layout, floating, move node to workspace S, the callback itself. Okay, that could be cool for stuff that kind of a little bit of scripting sorts of activity for advanced workflows, but I probably would just prefer a more manual touch. Run commands are run only if the detected window matches the specified conditions. If no conditions are specified, then run is run every time a new window is detected. Probably will not use callbacks. If during AeroSpace startup equals true is useful if you want to do the initial app arrangement only on startup. That might be useful for some configurations. This is useful if you want to relaunch AeroSpace, but the callback has side effects that you don't want to run on every launch. There's several ways to know app ID, okay. Assign apps on particular workspaces. Make all windows float by default. On focus changed callbacks. You can track focus changes using the following callbacks: on focus changed and on focus monitor changed. It's called every time a window or workspace changes. It's called every time focused monitor changes. A common use case for the callback is to implement mouse follows focus behavior. All you need is to combine the callback of your choice with move mouse command. Execute on workspace change callback allows to run arbitrary process when focused workspace changes. It may be useful for integrating with bars. Multiple monitors. The pool of workspaces is shared between monitors. Each monitor shows its own workspace. The showed workspaces are called visible workspaces. Different monitors can't show the same workspace at the same time. Each workspace, even invisible, even empty, has a monitor assigned to it. By default, all workspaces are assigned the main monitor. Main as in system displays use as. When you switch to a workspace, AeroSpace takes the assigned monitor of the workspace and makes the workspace visible on the monitor. So they take the assigned monitor of the workspace. This guy's English is like causing problems with this documentation, bro. AeroSpace takes the assigned monitor, but it says workspaces are assigned to the monitor, not the monitor to the workspace. Or no, each workspace has a monitor assigned to it. Okay, so workspace 1, 2, and then monitor can be assigned to this workspace or that. Okay, never mind. That was right. Okay, so it takes the assigned monitor of that workspace and makes that workspace visible on the monitor. Yeah. This is like almost implying that it's not visible when oh, I see. Never mind. So if you're on a different workspace on that monitor and you switch to that workspace on that monitor, then it moves the monitor to the other workspace and it shows that workspace. Yeah, okay. I don't know why that I don't know why I didn't understand that right away, but that makes sense, yeah. AeroSpace focuses the workspace. Yep. You can move workspace to a different monitor with move workspace to monitor command. The idea of making a pool of workspaces shared is based on the observation that most users have a limited set of workspaces on their secondary monitors. Secondary monitors are frequently dedicated to a specific task, browser, shell, or for monitoring various activities such as logs and dashboards. Thus, using one workspace per each secondary monitors and the rest on the main monitor often makes sense. Oh, okay, so it uses one workspace on this off monitor and the rest of the workspaces are all here somehow. The only difference between AeroSpace and i3 is switching to empty workspaces. When you switch to an empty workspace, AeroSpace puts the workspace on an assigned monitor. i3 puts the workspace on currently active monitor. I find the AeroSpace model works better with the observation listed above. AeroSpace model is more consistent. It works the same for empty workspaces and non-empty workspaces. Okay. You can use workspace to monitor force assignment syntax to assign workspaces to always appear on particular monitors. I might need to use this actually. What is 1? Monitor sequence number from left to right. 1 based indexing. Main monitor. Non-main monitor in case there are only 2 monitors. Case sensitive reject substring. Left hand side of the assignment is the workspace name. Right hand side of the assignment is the monitor pattern. Supported monitor patterns. Main as in system displays, okay. Secondary, non-main monitor in use case where there are only 2 monitors, okay. Number, sequence number of the monitor from left to right, 1 based indexing. regex pattern. Del built-in. You can specify multiple patterns as an array. The first matching pattern will be used. Move workspace to monitor command has no effect for workspaces that have monitor assignment. Okay. I feel like, yeah, that kind of makes sense, I think. Because I guess it depends. This is definitely way more extensible with different things that you might want to do. And if you get really good at understanding how everything moves and works, then this could be very powerful. But I'm thinking for my use case, I probably would prefer to simplify it with having a forced monitor assignment to a workspace, because I probably will not worry about having multiple different workspaces. I will probably really just only focus on having each monitor as the workspace. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. I don't know, I'll have to play around with it. Okay, dialogue heuristics. Apple provides an accessibility API for apps to let others know which of their windows are dialogues. A lot of apps don't implement this API or implement it properly. Even some Apple dialogues don't implement the API properly. For example, Find or Copy progress window doesn't let others know that it's a dialogue. Interesting. That could be maybe intentionally, but who knows. AeroSpace uses this API to gently ask windows whether they're dialogues. But AeroSpace also applies some heuristics. For example, windows without a full screen button, NB, full screen button, and maximize button are different buttons. What is the maximize versus full? This is full screen. What's maximize button? Windows without a full screen button are considered dialogues, excluding terminal apps. Westterm, Alacrity, iTerm2. Windows are recognized as dialogues. Are floated by default. Okay. That's actually probably good. That's been an issue I noticed with Amethyst. If you find out that some windows are not handled properly, please report an issue. Force all windows or windows of a particular app, or force tile. Okay. Force float all the windows of a particular app. I probably will want to use this. On window detected if app ID is run. Common pitfall, keyboard keys handling. If you can't make AeroSpace handle some keys in your config, please make sure that you don't have keys conflict with other software that might listen to global keys, SKHD, Carabiner Elements, Raycast. Okay, now we can get into configuring, baby. Let's get this going. Now we can actually get this going. Okay. First thing I want to do is fix this from this weird thing, the way it's set up. I don't know. Okay, there we go. So I don't want all these. There's just no way. I'm just gonna hide those for now. I feel like 1 through 9 is enough for now. Okay. I want to add at least this. Float. Float windows of app. Always float windows of apps of these applications. And oops, I'll do that for now. Until I need to add them there, but I just want to add it at the bottom there. On window detected. I don't care about that. This one. Assign workspaces. Force assignment. Not gonna worry about that right now. Okay, so let's start it. Okay, I have the commands. Yeah, this like does not work. Oh wait, that works. What is this? Wait, what is that? Alt comma, layout accordion. Oh, I see. Layout tiles, horizontal, vertical. Oh, it toggles? This toggles. Okay, this toggles. I'm just gonna comment that one out. I'm never gonna use accordion probably. So I don't even want it there. Oops. This might be useful. I like that. It's quick. It's fast. Okay, so here's AeroSpace. I'm assuming that asterisk is which is the active space I'm on. So if I go here, yep, that changes. Okay, and it also gives the number. Okay, I don't, why is it 10 and 11? I've got 9 workspaces, so it adds to these workspaces the monitors to those workspaces. I don't like having all these as bloat. Wait, can you create workspace? Like with a command? Like what if I want to have just like none of these and just create them on demand? Let's go to the commands. Configuring? Commands. See commands. Okay, here. Create workspace. Nope, I don't have that. You can't do that. Interesting. Okay. let me save this file real quick. Okay. So now, let me practice so H and L. Okay, so it uses Vim bindings. Okay, so left, right, left. Okay, wait, what the? Yeah, it's like, it definitely glitches. It's working, kind of, but I feel like after a little bit, it's not gonna work. It's glitching my other monitors like crazy, though. And if I try to go right, it tries to place it on the next monitor. It appears for a couple milliseconds, disappears, and comes back here. And that's what you're seeing. Like it's attempting to move it over. And I don't know why not. Why does that not allow it? Like this should be, it should allow that. It's trying to, it clearly works, and then it rejects it. And that's what I want. I want to be able to move these across my workspaces. But instead they have a separate command for that. So let's pull that up. Here. So they've got move, which are these. What happens if I do move, right? Move up. Ah, okay. It automatically okay. Hold on, let's see this. This is good here. So if this is focused and I move it up, it will create, hold on. Okay, given this layout, move right will result in the following. Yeah, so that's basically what I'm seeing, except a simplified version. Moving this right, we'll move it to these guys. We'll move it underneath this container. So what's happening is if I just have this, and I move this guy into window 1, then this just turns to vertical. Because what happens is the one where it was showing somewhere that it automatically changes. Where was that? Anyway, yeah, that makes sense. It'll automatic, because what happens is this moving into here will turn this node basically into a vertical container with then Windows 1 and 2 children of that. But you can't have a container and then a container and then 2 windows, so it merges those, or basically just turns this into a vertical container. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing when I do up. It'll move that up, which is intuitively. I can move it down, up, down. I can move it left, which will then put it to horizontal view with, wait, which one's focused? With the browser on the left. Yeah. I can move the browser to the right, move the browser to the left, move the browser down, move the browser to the right, move the browser up, left, down, right, that was up. Wait, up, that's up, this is down, up, down, up, right. It's Vim bindings. I kind of want to change it. So the way that Xmonad and Amethyst works is it works on a clockwise type of structure. Clockwise and counterclockwise. But maybe this is more deliberate, more specific. This might be nice. It's kind of weird. I have to get used to it just because I've been using the other way, which made it. What did I have? I had J and K So the inner ones move clockwise and counterclockwise on this space. And then I had H and L move to the other spaces. So I can select whatever I have and move it here. Okay, that's what I remember. Okay, that's why I never did 1, 2, 3, and then over here. I could just directly move a window across. So if I do, now hold on, wait. So focus is, I have focus up, left, right, down. So I can't focus Alt. Let's see, Alt. Can change these focuses. Wait, up and down, left. Wait, what? Uh-oh. Okay, focus right and left does not work. That's not even doing anything. Why is that? Oh, it's kind of working. When I hold it, it works, but then I release and it goes back. Why is that? Wrap around. Why? And then when I go up, okay, so let me, okay, can I, it's not, they don't have any defaults for moving windows over, but I like this. I like the dragging. The dragging is nice. For some reason, you're supposed to enable dragging on windows with command and control. Oh, I was always clicking the wrong buttons. That's why. Okay, I see. That's nice. That has nothing to do with AeroSpace. That's just a macOS feature, but that is nice. The window movement on here is nicer because compared to Amethyst, if I were to move this, it doesn't move the underlying window until I let go. Then it'll switch them. This is a little bit more smooth. If you want to do that. Okay. So to play around with this some more, let's see. So changing focus. Right. Okay, it's completely, that's not working. It's automatically going to my browser for some reason. So focus just doesn't work. It's probably conflicting with something. Raycast, what are they called? Keybinds? Maybe it's just in settings. I've got the compact version? What's the default? Oh, it shows that. Oops. Settings. What's the compact look like? Well, I don't know what the difference is. What was the difference? Oh, when you first open it, it already has this stuff here. Whereas compact is not until you start typing. Okay. So I want compact. Show favorites in compact. What if I untoggle that? Oops. If I turn that on, I don't have any favorites, that's the thing, I think. That's why. Okay, Some applications allow remapping a specific key to Control Option Shift command to act as an additional modifier. If enabled, shortcuts containing that will show as that instead. Can I type like this? No, you can only pick from these. I suppose the only thing I have is caps lock. So presses of all 4 left modifier keys. And then toggle caps lock with quick press. If enabled, pressing the caps lock key and releasing immediately will still toggle caps lock. So does this technically just override it? I don't think I need that yet, but it's good to know that I have it in here. A screenshot of your extension. Custom wallpaper? For what? Wait, what do you mean by custom wallpaper? Is this going to change my background? What does this do? What do you mean wallpaper? For what? Oh, here. Select an image if you want to use a custom background on metadata images. I don't know. No, I don't want to do that. I don't know what that is. Maybe do SS for system settings. Gotta make sure I don't have any conflicts with Alt that might be causing issues. Dude, this quick links feature is so cool. The shortcut launcher and the quick links is amazing. 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 And you could even add a hotkey for it if you want it to be even faster without even opening up Raycast. Absolutely amazing. What even is this? Confetti? Okay. Create quick link, create script command. Ooh. Convenient way to quickly create new script commands using Form UI. What is Form UI? Don't I have a Brave search? BS. Form UI. Boom. Look at that. Oh, I'm quick. Oh, I'm quick with it. Oh, Raycast. I'm unlocking Raycast to a new level, baby. Podcast settings. Search files. Okay, I don't see any like conflicting commands or hotkeys. So what is the issue with this not working? It only works up and down. I mean, like, is that how it's supposed to work? It does have wraparound feature though on the up and down. But I don't like that. This is opposite of the way I want it. I want this button to go that way and the other button to go that way. I want to switch those. Why is it like that? Is that because of the tree structure? Because I'm thinking of it like this. Oh, I'm not even on the right page. I'm thinking of it like this, left and right. And that's what it's telling, that's how it's saying you can, but it's up and down instead. Why is that? You can navigate the trees in 4 cardinal directions, but you can't. It's literally not letting me. It's only letting me do this. Why is that not working? That's like the basic feature that I don't understand why it's not working. And this is like being glitchy when I move it. This move works, but it's being glitchy. Is it because I have the Windows separate workspace? It said there's like, it's overall buggy when you have that on. So I have to turn it off, but I have to log out in order to do that, which is probably going to end the stream, so I'll have to restart it. Okay, I guess I have to do that. Because otherwise I don't know what that bugginess is due to. I have to rule out it being the displays have separate screens. Or separate spaces, I think. Why is this not working? Okay, why is this not working? Maybe here? Displays have separate spaces. Off. Requires logout. Okay, I'm gonna log out. What if I just log out right now without closing anything? And log in? I think it's gonna end everything. Are you sure you want to quit all applications and log out? Yeah, it's gonna quit everything. Okay, let me stop stream and start it up again. I gotta test this out.